Okay, please.
Thank you very much for what was a very interesting presentation. I have two questions, if I may. Firstly, it would be nice to know more about how you're going to deal with the discontinuity caused by profiling with your survey users and how you're going to manage it, because as you've said, they won't like it. So we all have a similar problem. And secondly, I was interested that you were going to consolidate legal units yourself, because you're saying that the businesses can't provide that information. How are you going to do that? Because obviously you need to know quite a lot of financial information about the business to do the consolidation. Do you collect intercompany sales, for example, to enable you to do consolidation of turnover? Thank you.
Yeah, we aren't really there yet. We have embryo to a consolidation model for the income statement variables and the balance sheet variables. And then we just use the information available in reports, in annual reports. We have to talk to the enterprise. We have to contact the enterprises. I think we don't have a specific survey for inter-group flows. Maybe to some extent we have it in the SBS survey, but not fully. So we have to contact the enterprises. And we would also like to get to know how other countries does that. So we will have a Nordic meeting in a few weeks where the other Nordic countries will attend. And we are going to talk about this because we have to do this together. We can't have different models in different countries. So we aren't there yet. But the first question was that? I didn't understand that really.
Sorry, the first question was about the fact that when you change from legal units to enterprise for the big companies, the 30 or so big companies, you're going to get different data, and your survey managers will have to deal with that, and they won't like it. And it reminds me of my own problems, and I wondered how you were going to handle that.
When it comes to the different surveys, we have tried within the group. We have been visiting all the different units that in Stats Sweden that are that have to deal with this several times, and I think now they started to understand that this affects me because they didn't think it affected them at first. So it's really a question about a lot of information, and we will have workshops and things like that. And I think to be honest, I think it will be quite problematic the first years, but we have to do it. We have to do it for the SBS, and in order for the statistics to be consistent over the domains, we have to do it for everything. Can't just do it for the SBS and don't do it for the other surveys. But we foresee quite a lot of practical problems, and one of the largest thing will be to alter our production system to be able to handle the fact that the reporting unit is not a target unit. You have to do some, consolidation or division or whatever to arrive at a target unit. So it will be costly, but we take one step at a time, and we hope we can implement this 2020.
Okay, thank you very much, Kajsa. Now I think that we go to the third presentation of the morning before the coffee break. So I invite Rico to come forward. Sorry to surprise you, but as I suppressed the first presentation, you are now before the coffee break. The third presentation from Statistics Netherlands by Rico Konen describes the interplay between the Dutch Statistical Business Register and the EGR, and the process to identify the GDC for serving the fat statistics, among a few other things.
Okay.
If you do like this,
Yes, it's okay.
it's okay. Sorry. It's there.
No, it was okay. Yeah.
So Rico, the floor is yours.
Yes, but I'm still struggling because I can't move. Ah, okay. No, but it's not moving. Can you help me?
I know. I think there are some of. Yeah, there are some. Yeah, this one is already opened.
Okay.
So it was a bit.
Yes. Okay, so now now it should work. So let me tell you something again about the EGR, but okay, this is what we did in the past time. So let me explain you a little bit about global statistics. Just a brief overview. Global statistics, they are defined as a kind of existence between resident countries and other countries. So if there is an interaction between two different countries, then we are talking about global effects. So, now you can visualize this by looking at the Netherlands. We are in the European Union, and we have an interaction with Belgium, of course, because it's a neighboring country, but also with the other countries in Europe, because we have an interaction between them. The same goes for the rest of the world. We got interactions with America, China, and everywhere around the world. So, on the one side, there's always an incoming stream, but there is also an outgoing stream. So, this is always the same in all kind of global statistics. So, and if we talk about a special kind of global statistics, we can talk about the foreign affiliate statistics. And the foreign affiliate statistics are also a two-way approach. On the one side, we got the inward FATS indicators. On the other side, we got the outward FATS indicators. Inward FATS indicators, they describe the production factors generated by foreign investors in a domestic economy. And for the IFATs, it's very important that we have information about the country of the ultimate controlling institute, because we want to know the effect what foreign countries have on our own domestic economy. On the other side, the Netherlands has also multinational enterprise, and they have a certain influence on other countries. So, and this is what we call the outward FATS indicators. The outward FATS indicators, yeah, they are also described production factors, but we have to consider the fact that we also have subsidiaries outside of the European Union. So, and this is what I want to show, because if you assign a global decision center or the ultimate controlling institute who has this influence, in that case, we can collect the information from two ways. Either we ask the UCR or the GDC to provide information about the rest of the enterprises all over the world, or on the other side, we ask the countries themselves to provide information about the subsidiaries, and we gross them up. So if we can gross them up, then it should be the same. So it's a kind of mirroring in this field of play. So the only thing is that we have the European Union, and if we have to deal with a Canadian subsidiary or the Canadian affiliate, then we have to ask them extra, because these data are not provided by another country within the European Union. So, and this is, so, and I come here. So, these two statistics, yeah, you can visualize this. And then I took England as example here, because it's a big country and they have affiliates all over the world. So if we are talking about the ultimate controlling institute is located in the United Kingdom. In that case, they can have affiliates all over the world. They have to provide information on in their outward VAT statistics. On the other side, you can say the inward VAT statistics. If you see each bar represents one business register, if we can split these business registers into a domestic control and ultimate control of a foreign controlling unit, in that case, we can provide information about inward VAT indicators. So, and this is also what they are doing and trying to do in the, Eurostat produced a manual for the foreign affiliate statistics, and but the trick in this is to assign the right ultimate controlling institutional unit, because this is not easy and not obvious. So, and this is where the European Union helps us by providing us an EGR, a Eurogroup register. And in the Eurogroup register, there's a cooperation between all European countries. They provide information about their enterprises, about their multinational enterprises, about their cross-border relation, and about the enterprises involved. They provide this information to the EGR, together with the information from Dun & Bradstreet and other commercial data providers. Together, they try to create a tree structure in order to determine the right ultimate controlling institute, or as in GGR terms, it is the Global Decision Center. Afterwards, after the EGR has done their work in the core application, then we can retrieve information to make our VAT statistics. All ultimate controlling institutes for all multinational enterprises are assigned by the EGR, and this is how we can make coordinated statistics. This is all of the idea. How does it look? I got one example. How does a structure look? So I take the beer, because it's always nice to talk about beer. And we had Heineken. It's a very large enterprise. The head of the company, the global group head, is large green. It's always on the left, on the top left. And then you can see they have, in 53 countries, they have affiliates. And they are all, these affiliates are identified and stored in the EGR. So this is very nice. We also know that the global group head in this case is the Netherlands. So the Ultimate Controlling Institute is also assigned to the Netherlands, and we can start collecting some information for the outward funds. So this is the idea how we can give, how we get this information to make statistics. So how does the EGR work? In the EGR, there's an interplay between 4 applications, and each NSI can use these 4 applications in order to improve the frames produced by the EGR. So there are 4 applications: the identification service, because each cross-border relationship we provide to the EGR has to have a unique identifier from the domestic part and also from the foreign part. So we can use the identification service for that. The EGR core application is just to store the information about all multinational enterprises and the cross-border relationship and some characteristics. So if every country provides this information, then in the EGR core we can create global enterprise groups and their structures of the affiliates. The interactive module, the IM, is there just to correct and to improve the frames in case there's something going wrong or there are broken structures for whatever reason. On the other side, the EGR FATS interface, you can retrieve the final frames produced by the EGR in order to make your statistics. So, this was an awful lot, and all these applications, they have their specific selection criteria, and they have their specific methodology. So, and in our country, we provided this by a bunch of queries and then send it to the EGR. But what we wanted to do is just to organize this more. So we wanted to create a separate environment where we can store cross-border relationship. So we got two sources on the upper side. We got either our chambers of commerce, who have information about direct parents in a cross-border relation, or we got cross-border relation from profiling activities. So we get this into the cross-border register, take care that they are identified, so there's an interplay in this with the identification service in order to identify those. After they are identified, we can make and produce a delivery for the EGR core, where we can link enterprises to it. And after we have sent that, the EGR core does its algorithm, building up the tree structure, does the continuity algorithm, and then afterwards we can retrieve, or we can improve by using the EGR interactive model from this system, and afterwards we can retrieve also, we can use the EGR FATS interface to retrieve the coordinated frames in order to provide them to our users. So this is a little bit the interplay we have, and just to keep it all into one repository, into one database, gives you the possibility to generate all information that's needed for Eurostat, and in this case, the EGR. So we are very happy with it, and quality is okay, but our Dutch FATS statistics, they have some problems in assigning the right ultimate controlling institute. And I pointed out two problems here just to visualize the problems they have with the information in the EGR. So if this is the information provided by the EGR, so in other words, Spain and Belgium, they assigned Germany, a German company, as the direct parent, and the German country, they assigned the Netherlands as their direct parent. In that case, you would say the global group head is the Netherlands, and we should be satisfied. However, as always, also acknowledged by Eurostat before, there are some weak points in assigning ultimate controlling institute or global decision center which are located outside the EU. So if you are missing this link or you cannot identify this link, in that case you are missing it and the structure is not complete. So we do not assign the right ultimate controlling institute. So this is one problem there is. Eurostat is now finding new sources, and we hope this will improve. So on the other side, we have a little bit more difficult stuff, and that is that this is the structure provided by the EGR. So France and Bulgaria, they represent Denmark as the direct parent. Denmark says it's England, but our FATS statistician says no, it's the Netherlands. So why do they do that? Because we have some national legislation that says we have some managing responsibility. So, and if there is a manager who is responsible for his own actions about mismanagement in case it's going wrong, in that case he wants to avoid this risk. So, and in that case he makes a short trip to England and he says, okay, I'm establishing a nice unit limited in the United Kingdom, and in that case, after this is done, all the obligations are laid down with the English limited, and then we go home and we do our meeting for our shareholders and everything. So the FATS statistician says in this case, it's just a Dutch company, but it's only an administrative trick just to fool the system. So, and this is not what we want, because we want to know the influence another country has on our country, on our economy. So, and to make a, do I still have time left? Or? So to make a long story very short, so we have pointed out three plans, what we are planning to do. Of course, we have our cross-border relationship, but we did not optimize all procedures yet, so we have to optimize this in order to support, of course, the EGR functionalities optimally. This is one thing. On the other hand, we have also these issues brought up by the FATS statisticians, and we want to try to do something about it. What we can do, there is now a whole manual search method to detect these kind of anomalies. Yeah, since it is a manual and we have a lot of international cross-border relationships, so it's a lot of work for the FAT statisticians to delineate the right ultimate controlling institute, and we want to guide this manual process as good as possible. So, and that means at this moment they are Googling and they are typing in the names and going across the internet just to find the right ultimate controlling institute. Now, what we are trying to do is we are trying to put this methodology into some graph database in order to reproduce this kind of search algorithm. And afterwards, because we are using several websites, not only not the BP media, but we have also other kind of, especially also from the US government, they provide Bloomberg as a website, Wikipedia also we use. And maybe it's possible to scrape some information about these kind of units so we can guide this manual process and guide this with a little bit more automatic. And this is a project that's ongoing at this moment. So if it's feasible, then maybe I'll come back to that once. So this is my presentation because it's over. Profiling in Germany. Simon is okay.
So thank you very much, Rico.
Yeah.
We do appreciate the efforts that you are doing and the other member states are doing to find the GDCs, in particular if they are outside of the EU, because this is the area which is still mostly developing in the EGR frame. This is all very, very welcome. And now I open the floor to questions to Rico. Yes, Zolt from Eurostat.
So just a comment from the EGR side. So we are very happy with this presentation, illustrating the difficulties what we have in the EGR, like a collaborative platform where we have all the different views of the countries and we have to somehow get some outcome to come to some conclusion. And I would like to invite you, Rico, to next EGR training in the summer 2019 to come as a presenter to support us,
Okay.
showing the knowledge of the colleagues who are present.
Okay,
in
I
this
remember.
training.
I will
Thank you
remember
very
that.
much.
Well, I will bring Barry maybe.
Okay, thanks for the promise, Rico.
Okay.
Yes, then Mari Friedland, please.
Thanks for the excellent presentation. It's a complex issue and you made the visualization really well. So I think I will be using this back at home because it really sort of gets the essential out of a very complex issue. There is one slide though, number 10 I think. This is just a comment. You pointed out an issue with IFATs in Dutch in the Netherlands. But it's both OFATs and IFATs. If you're missing the link of a UCI in Canada, then you're over-reporting OFATs and under-reporting IFATs.
Yeah.
And the vice versa for the missing link.
If we
For the
would only
UCI
use
in the
EGR,
Netherlands.
then, yeah,
Yes. But very nice visualization. Thanks.
okay.
Thank you. Other questions? I don't see any at the moment. I have one.
Yes.
So you have decided to create a separate database for the cross-border relationships and for the input that you are delivering to the EGR.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit further on the reason why you decided to go that way, so that you created something separate for that purpose?
Okay. First thing is we had to delineate these cross-border relations and we have to identify those.
Mm-hmm.
So we had some queries just to send some information to the EGRIS, but we thought it's also important to keep, for example, the history. So because we want to do this a regular basis. So sometimes we use our profilers also to use the EGRIS just to detect or to identify the unit. So we want to make this regularly. It used to be that we do that once a year, And then for this reference year, after the cycle says it should be delivered, then we did it. But now we want to get more regularity in this process. So each time, because we have daily updates of our Register of Chamber of Commerce, who provide us daily updates. So, and if we keep the history, we can always identify these few hundreds that are coming in each month. So this is spreading the workload. So that was one of the main reasons. On the other hand, some kind of methodology. Sometimes it changed by when another person is putting up the queries, then it's changing. So having it in one database, it freezes the methodology needed to give constant quality, to deliver constant quality to the EGR. So these are two reasons we did this, and it's easier also to expand the system. Eurostat has some plans also that these applications could be more integrated into the national systems, and this cross-border relation gives that opportunity to. So now it's all separate, so we have to go on the internet, but this interplay can also be approved, or can be approved later on if we wanted to do. So this is a little bit the field that we thought it's better to have a cross-border relation, and from there, do the profiling work is integrated, identification, the interactive module, the history, everything we can more control in this cross-border relation, cross-border register.
Okay, thank you. For the moment, I don't see any other questions, so thank you very much, Rico.
Okay.
And now we are perfectly on time for coffee. So, according to the schedule, we have coffee break from 10:30 to 11. So, see you back here at 11 o'clock.